It's 9:06. Time now for the Money Talk Radio Show, brought to you by NuMark Credit Union. And our guest today is Mack Story from the NuMark Credit Union. Mack, welcome back to WJOL. Happy to have you along with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, you betcha. And a Happy New Year to you, by the way, here, Mack.
You too. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much. Well, the idea for 2023, of course, is to set resolutions, hold yourself to some resolutions, and a lot of those have to do with finances. So setting up your finances for success, that'll be the topic for today here, Max. So we've got a lot to talk about, and it's something everybody is interested in, setting your finances up for success. Now, as we've done in the past and will always do in the future, we have a $25 Visa gift card from NuMark Credit Union available to you if you're able to answer a question from the show. Okay, so pay attention, because what Mack has to say is something we all should know. So setting your finances up for success. So listen to the answers, and at the end, you might get a couple of bucks to put in your coffer to get you on that road to success. So why, in addition to it just makes sense, why do you think that setting up your finances for success is an important topic?
Well, I don't know about you, but finances can be very, very stressful. So if you set yourself up for financial success, then that takes that stress away. You don't have to worry about it anymore. You've got a plan in place, and you can just initiate it and stay on track, and then that alleviates some of that stress, because I know we all have stress in our life, but if you can get rid of something, then let's get rid of that financial stress and let's focus on other things. Oh,
absolutely. And what are those other things that you could be focusing on?
Family, your job, your career. We all have stress in our lives and everything. You can focus on that. And, once you get your finances set up, then again, that's just one less stress that you have to worry about.
Mack, so many of us, say set up a plan for your finances. And in a lot of cases, you don't even know what that plan is going to be. You don't even know what's going to happen. But of those that you do know, how can you put a reserve fund? What is your recommendation for having a reserve fund for things that you're not anticipating?
So what I've done, and this is personal here, I've set up 2 savings accounts. I have one that's just savings. That's, retirement. That's saving for my future. That's just doing that. But then I have another savings that I put for, and I call it an emergency fund. I can't put much, but I put a little bit here and there, even if it's $10 a week, $10 a month, whatever you can do to put it in there. That's an emergency fund. That's if your car breaks down, or, an appliance breaks in your house, and everything. That's just that emergency fund. That way I don't have to put that on credit. Don't get me wrong, credit cards are good and they're great to have and everything, but if I can pay for it in cash, I'm going to pay for it in cash, because then that saves me on interest, and that saves me having to make those payments down the road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, you talk about credit, your credit card and so forth. Credit score. This is important. Credit scores are extremely important. How do you get access to your credit score without affecting it?
There are several ways that you can do. We recommend annualcreditreport.com. It is a website. Everyone is entitled to a free credit report once a year. Annualcreditreport.com can give you all 3 credit bureaus: Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. You do want to check at least once a year, make sure. There are other websites like Credit Karma and everything. Just know that Credit Karma may not be the exact score that financial institution will pull when you're applying for a loan, just so that you know that. It's going to be in the ballpark, but it may not be the exact score. But Credit Karma is good. I like Credit Karma because it tells me if someone pulled my credit, and everything, so I can kind of keep a handle on my credit report so that I know when it's being pulled. I can go in and look to see what's on my credit report to make sure it's all mine, and there's no fraud on there or anything like that, because we know fraud is big right now, and everything. We just want to stay on top of that. But again, my recommendation is annualcreditreport.com. I actually just went on there this morning and looked at it, and they're actually still doing weekly credit reports as well, because they started that during COVID, and I believe it's still going on. So take a look at it and see if that's the route that you want to go. But again, always do what's best for you. But again, Credit Karma and annualcreditreport.com can help.
All righty, so that's an important one to remember. Annualcreditreport.com, and is that free?
That is free once a year. If you want your credit report more than once a year, you might have to pay for it. There is a small fee. I don't believe it's too much. I want to say it's around $20 and everything, but you can definitely do that whenever you need to just take a look at your credit report.
All right, that's worth writing down. Annualcreditreport.com. Now, sticking to a budget, I mean, how would you, NuMark, how would you, Mack, help a member stick to a budget? How do you help members get a little bit more financially astute?
Okay. We do have certified financial counselors in our credit union. Those are they're loan officers, but they are also able to help you set up a budget. They can go through your expenses and your payroll, and they can actually help you set up a budget. So if you'd like to speak to somebody, definitely give us a call, set up an appointment. You can come in and talk to them. And then also we have in our online banking platform, we have a program called Money Management. Money Management, you can link outside accounts to that. So it's not necessarily just your NuMark accounts. You could link your, if you have an account at Chase or another financial institution, you can link that so you can see balances. Also, too, in that money management, if you're wanting to pay off a credit card, let's say your credit card balance is $2,000, you can step, I want to pay this off in 6 months. And then what money management will do is it takes the interest into account. It also takes your minimum payments, but then it'll tell you how much you need to pay each month to get that credit card paid off in 6 months. And you can even set up reminders where it'll text you reminders to make your payment and everything. It's a really great feature. I've used it myself. When we got it, I wanted to test it and see, how it worked and everything. And it is a great feature on our website. And it'll help you stick to that budget.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for. It's the Money Talk radio show. Our guest is Mack Story from NuMark Credit Union. And Mack, I'm always interested in getting a definition or a delineation between a credit union and a bank. What would you say? What are the big differences? Because we hear different things from different people. What is the difference between a bank and a credit union?
I would say one of the biggest differences is we're owned by our members. Our members own us. So when you open an account at Chase, you're a customer and you don't own that bank. The stockholders own that bank. If you open an account at a credit union, you become part owner of that credit union. So therefore, you benefit from the lower interest rate that we can offer on loans and higher interest rates that we can offer on deposit accounts. We don't have to pay our board of directors. Our board of directors are strictly volunteer. They're all about the credit union movement, and they want to make sure that they do right by our members and their members themselves. So when they make changes or they make, increase interest rates, they're doing it for themselves as well because they are members as well as the board of directors. We don't have to pay them though. So therefore, they're not stockholders in our bank. But I would say that is the biggest difference between a credit union and a bank is the way it's structured.
That is a very important distinction. Right now it's about 9:15. We're going to take a little breather here, and when we get back, I'm going to ask Mack to talk about what we would do after we set our financial plans and we run into a little trouble. You're listening to Money Talk.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681.
Menards is your complete bathroom renovation headquarters. Lyons has what you need to give your bathroom a fresh, updated look. Shop the largest selection of bathtubs and showers, including over 200 showers, bathtubs, and surrounds, which are a great way to start your remodel. You're sure to find the perfect one to fit your style and budget. Start your next project today and save big money on all Lyons bath and shower products at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
This is Money Talk, and our guest is Mack Story from the NuMark Credit Union. And Mack, we talked earlier about getting access to your credit score without affecting it, and it's a free once-a-year event where you can go to annualcreditreport.com and you can know where you stand. Now that you know where you stand, let's say that you use the advantage that you're in a good credit rating and you look to purchase something large, and now you run into trouble trying to pay for it. What are some of the options that an individual would have to get out of a little dilemma like that?
Is a debt consolidation loan. There's many different ways to do that. You can do it as a personal loan that's unsecured. It's just a basic, unsecured loan that you do to pay off those debts. You can also use your home as the home equity in your home to pay off those debts as well. If you're a homeowner and you have the equity in your home, you can do a home equity line of credit, and you can use those funds to actually pay off those credit card balances. You can also look for 0% balance transfer on other credit cards. I know you don't want to get a lot of credit cards, but if you can take one balance that has, let's say, 18% on it and transfer it over to a new credit card that has a 0% for a certain term or something like that, then that way you're not paying the interest and you can get that debt paid off faster. More of your payment is going to principal as opposed to going to principal and the interest. We have that on our website. If you go to newmarkcu.org, there's a link for cards on there, and it'll go through all the options that we're offering right now for 0% on credit cards. And then you can go that route and balance transfer some of that over. Okay. Now, what about the idea of saving more, of course, is very important, but spending less? Now we have inflation that's hitting us all over, and it's hitting all of us at about the same rate. With inflation coming up, that's going to have an effect on what we can spend. So what is the tactic that NuMark would use for members to help look at where we could spend less? That would be our financial counselors. They can take a look at your budget and see where you can cut corners or cut costs and everything. I know one thing I'm doing this year is I'm avoiding Starbucks. I'm avoiding Dunkin' Donuts, and I'm trying to make my coffee at home. That's a little bit of something that you can do. You will save money in the long run. Now, don't get me wrong, you do want to treat yourself. I do treat myself probably once a week and everything. But for the most part, I'm, cutting costs by doing things like that. Do I really need something if I'm at the store? I'm a big impulse buyer, so I'm one of those ones that will pick it up at the register because I see it right there. I'm trying to avoid that. So, saving a little bit here and there, it'll add up in the future. It'll, even though it's a small amount, it's still going to add up. Well, I guess, a penny saved is a penny earned. And if you do it one little step at a time, it's going to have a big effect on you, I would imagine. Yep. Now, if you are looking at, some of us are in the stock markets or we're doing some individual investing. The market, of course, is all volatile, and over the last couple of years, it's been up and down and mostly down. And with all of the events happening in the world, if you want to consider now with the potential of the market being on a rebound, do we have that type of support or direction from NuMark? Yes, we have financial advisors that we work with. You can set up an appointment with them. It's no obligation, free appointment. You can talk to them about your ideas and what you want to do and some things that you want to accomplish, and they can help you with that. They have less risky accounts that they can put your money in, but they also do the stock market as well. So that, that can be a little bit riskier. It just depends on what you want to do, and what funds you have to save or, play with in the stock market, and everything. You don't want to lose it all, and that kind of thing, but they are great. The Coons, they come in and they will go to any one of our branch and they will meet with anyone. They'll go over their finances and see what they can do to help them out and maybe earn some more interest. I do know that they have new products that will earn a little bit more interest than what we can pay here on the deposit side and everything. But like I said, they have the risky stuff. They have the non-risky stuff. So we can also take a look at that as well.
And when we take a look at the risk versus the risk benefit, does it make sense for an individual to, even if they're not thinking of it, to give a call to NuMark in this case to see if it is something that they should be considering? Maybe it's not something they ever thought about. It might be like, no, I don't do that stock market stuff. Just to know whether or not it's right for them. Does that fall into the equation too?
Of course, yes. If you have any questions, give us a call. We can set up an appointment with our financial advisor. You can ask them anything that that you're thinking about or what your future is, and they can take a look at your finances and see what's best for you. They can make those recommendations, but again, it's still up to you if you want to do that risky versus the non-risky and everything. Again, we all know this: the higher the risk, the bigger the payout, but also the bigger the loss. So if the risk doesn't work out for you, then you lose more. But if it works out, you earn more. So I would suggest talking to our financial advisors and see what they can offer for you.
Mack, motivation is such an interesting thing to me. I have set so many goals in my life and said, I'm gonna, and I don't. Now, what we talked about here, setting your finances up for success, we can all say, I'm gonna, but we don't. How do we inspire ourselves to actually take that first step?
For me, when I took the first step, and this was probably about 10 years ago, I wanted to see my savings account grow. I have online banking, so I would log in on my app, and I would look at my balances. I loved seeing that my savings account was growing. I was only putting $20 a month at the time, but it was a little bit, and I did it, and I did that for a couple of years, and I had a nice little savings account, and I loved watching that grow. So for me, seeing that money get put in my savings account, that was motivation for me to continue doing it. Now, I will tell you, it was difficult when I first started, but I stuck to my plan, and I made sure I put at least $20 a month in that savings account, and then I didn't touch it and everything. So, that's the other thing too, is to not touch it. You see it there, and you see that those shoes on sale or whatever, and you're like, hey, I see I got a little money in my savings account. You can take it and do that. Unless you need it, don't buy it. That was my motto at that time. If I did not need it and I could not pay for it in cash, I did not purchase it. So, but that was a personal thing for me, as I tried to pay myself first. Yeah. Always try to pay myself first, even if it's a little bit, $5, whatever you can afford to do, at least do that.
Yeah, when I was a young kid, Mack, the passbook, the banks offered a passbook. And when my mom or grandmother would take me in, they would have me put in $5 into my savings account. And I would get that passbook stamped so I could see it in there and watch it grow that way. And now with the digital technology, it's a little harder to do. So how do we watch it grow? How do we inspire young people to save?
I would say with the, again, watching it grow, being an example for the young people, let them take a look at your balance, don't, if you don't want to do that, that's fine. But, show them what you've done, and lead by example. Show them that, it is possible to save, and it is possible to buy things with cash and not on a credit card and everything. So you can show them by example. And I did that with my niece and nephew. They were turning 15 and 16. And I'm like, okay, guys, let's sit down and talk about, getting their first job and how they need to go about saving for the future and everything. And I showed them, I said it was difficult. It took me some time, but I did it. And now I have a nice little savings, and everything. And then I have my little emergency fund. In the event something happens, I can pretty much get it covered, depending on what it is. But then you also have those credit cards for the backup emergencies.
Yeah, there you go. Our topic here was set your finances up for success. And we started at the beginning of the show that we got a $25 Visa gift card for you if you can answer one of the questions that were talked about in the show. So get ready here. This is my question. What was the answer to the question, how can you get access to your credit score without affecting it? How can you get access to your credit card without affecting it? So the Turk Furniture Studio line is 815-254-7300. And let's see if we know what that answer is. Hi, who do we have here?
This is Tony.
Tony, and what's the answer to getting your credit card without affecting it?
Annualcreditreport.com.
Holy cow. How about that, Mac? What do you think? Did he get it?
He got it. That's a great answer.
Tony, you are right on board, my friend. Congratulations. You got a $25 Visa gift card, compliments of NuMark Credit Union. Tony, before we close off here, do you have any questions regarding the idea of setting your finances up for success for Mac?
Not offhand. Maybe just an opinion. I'm pretty close to the best guy with money. I don't like the stock market. I don't know enough about it. But in your opinion, with these rates going up, do you foresee CD rates going up, or you think we're about the top right now?
I think it's kind of plateaued out for right now, but I know that it could possibly grow in the future. We can't predict what's going to happen. We can only go by what the Fed has said and that kind of thing. They do monitor the Fed rate and everything, and we try to go off of that. Right now, we do have a fee special going on. It's 15 months for 3.25, so that's a good rate, Okay. And I like watching, and we're noticing a trend, so they are starting to go up a little bit. So hopefully in the near future, we'll start getting back up there. I remember when I started in banking 20 plus years ago, we had a CD rate at 7 and 8. One of them was actually 10%. I would love to get back up there, but it's going to be a while before that happens.
There you go. Tony, thank you so much for the question, and congratulations. Tony, hold on. I'm going to get more information here so we can get that $25 Visa gift card, compliments of NuMark to you. And Mac, I want to thank you once again for being here. And where do we go to get more information on NuMark Credit Union?
You can go to our website. It's NuMarkCU.org, and it's NuMarkCU.org.
All righty. NuMark.org or 815-729-3211. Once again, many thanks. I appreciate you being here. NuMark Credit Union, the Money Talk Radio Show. Our guest today, Mack Story from NuMark Credit Union. Mac, many thanks for being here. Tony, hang on. And once again, Happy New Year.
Thank you.